Hey there, gang. With a set focused on high fantasy, it's easy to forget that there's aliens afoot. And one of our smartest humans said, I believe alien life is quite common in the universe, although intelligent life less so. Some say it has yet to appear on planet Earth. Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, interstellar mutants, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name is Jeterex, and today we are going to introduce you to our favorite alien in the Final Fantasy set. And by that, of course, I mean we are playing Jenova Ancient Calamity. 2 a green and a black for a 1/5 alien. Beginning a combat, it puts counters equal to its power on another creature. That creature becomes a mutant forever. Whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, draw cards equal to its power. So the game plan is get counters on Jenova. Jenova puts counters on other stuff, make big gigantic creatures, run over our opponent for fun and profit. So it's a pretty standard Golgari or green-black mid-range shell, so stuff to deal with what our opponents are doing. We've got Cut Down, Go for the Throat, Strategic Betrayal, and Tear Asunder. We've also got Agatha's Soul Cauldron doing double duty as removing our opponent's graveyard and giving counters. Scavenging Ooze does a similar thing in the 2-drop spot. So the rest of our cards care about counters or put counters on stuff themselves. Demon Wall is just a solid 2-drop 3/3 Defender Menace. If it gets a counter, it no longer has Defender. You can also put counters on itself for the low cost of 6 mana, but it does come up. Bristly Bill, solid 2-drop. Landfall puts a counter on a creature, also has that extra bonus of being able to double counter sometimes. Hollowmurk Siege is our draw engine. Whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card. Only triggers once a turn, but you can trigger it on your turn and your opponent's turn if you have the right setup going on. Moving up the scale, we've got Summon Fenrir, absolutely the backbone of the deck, because if you've got Hollowmurk Siege out, lore counters count as something that can draw cards. So Hollowmurk Siege on 2 into Fenrir on 3 means we are ramping and we are drawing a card. It feels a little bit like Up the Beanstalk into Overlord, and that's, I think, what makes the deck so good, is that Hollowmurk Siege into Fenrir is actually no slouch as far as something that can really ramp you forward into the game. Warden of the Grove is a 3-drop, puts counters on itself, and then other creatures endure equal to its counters, so that puts counters on other creatures as well. When you have Warden and Jenova on the table, they just give each other counters and scale up very quickly. At the top end, finally, we've got Doomscar Warrior, a 4-drop that backs up 1, so it puts a +1/+1 counter on another creature, or on itself if it's the only target, and then whatever it hits with the counter gets its ability, which allows you to kind of look at the top cards and put a land or creature based on the damage that you do. So it's a way of getting extra value, but most importantly, it's a way of giving trample to a creature near the end of the game when you really need to get that last bit of damage through. So Golgari mid-range shell, it's really just here to play the mid-range game, destroy our opponent's stuff, make our creatures so big that our opponents can't deal with it. So before we head over to the gameplay, I'd like to remind everybody to please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, let us know what you'd like to see us play on the channel as we get ready for rotation in a few weeks. So with that, thanks as always for watching. Let's play some head games. All right, Silverleaf, what do you got over there? Friends, we're going to find out if a Golgari Jenova list can hang on the ladder today. We do have Hollowmurk Siege on 2, which I do very, very much like. I don't have any interaction, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable. We're going to try it. Ghost Vacuum doesn't impact us the way it does some other decks. We'll play Wastewood Verge. Double black, we got a bat. Duress is fine as long as there's only one of them. I feel like I've seen double Duress really often lately. Swamp is a hot draw. Hollowmurk. Opponent's gonna Ghost Vacuum in response. We will pick Sultai. Looking for Fenrir off the top. I originally built this deck with a lot more summons in it because I was just trying really hard to abuse the summon getting counters. Very bad for us. We're gonna play this land and play Demon Wall. This incentivizes them to try to kill our Demon Wall next turn, which is not a bad place for our opponent to be. They don't mind killing stuff and then nuking it with Ghost Vacuum under the promise that they may get it back later. Reveals their hand. Choose an artifact for a creature. Tosses the Doomscar. Demon Wall for our opponent. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't choose Jenova there. So we're gonna... They've got Ghost Vacuum holding priority here. But I think we're cooking. Okay, damage with the Demon Wall. They are still like kind of removal deck, so I mean the mono black deck has a lot of removal, so I need to be very lucky here. Okay, this is Karsi Revenant, right? Okay. They're still giving us some trouble here. Okay, we're gonna play our land. We're gonna go for the throat, the Karsi Revenant. Then we're gonna strategically betray our opponent. Another counter on Demon Wall. Okay. Okay, 6 damage for our opponent. They do not have a response. Demon is not going to do it. I mean, it does start getting them the life back again. Oh, Scooz is a decent card. It's just not good sitting across the table from a Ghost Vacuum. Okay, so we can actually punch them with the Demon Wall. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna take out the demon. So I can't fire up. I can't cast Scavenging Ooze without there being a chance that it's just gonna die. Okay. Puts them at 7. They're in a very, very precarious position. Is it good enough? Karsi Revenant's real good for our opponent, but they need 2 creatures. Unstoppable Slasher, also good. They do not gain the life. Okay. So, the thing about Doomscar is I really want to put the counter on Jenova because it makes her put more counters on other things, right? Problem with this plan is that I also really want to put the counter on Demon Wall so that it tramples over for some damage. I think that's the answer. I could also just... It's already a mutant, right? So her thing is going to trigger. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this Demon Wall. We're going to put a counter on the new Demon Wall. Draw a card. And if it was a removal, I could have won. But it wasn't, and that's okay. They have to double lock. Mm-hmm. Yes. We will allow all those things to die. Yep. I could have played the Scavenging Ooze first, but again, oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. They're being way too aggressive with that Ghost Vacuum, and I'm about to show them why. Okay. There's only one creature in their yard. No, I'm gonna nuke it now. It is correct to do so, I believe. Alright. Bristly Bill. Land for turn. Put it on Jenova. Scavenging Ooze. We're going to take out the Revenant now. Another unstoppable slasher for our opponent. Bloodletter of Aklisots, just putting up some defense here. Okay. Lots of good options for us here. I'm not certain that I can win. Maybe I can't. I need to play very attentively. Because I'm going to remove one of their creatures, but they can probably let the one go. We're going to put it on the demon wall. We'll draw a card for turn. We'll play... I wish I had an untapped land. Underground Mortuary. We're going to put the counter on Jenova. I do like Fenrir. I also don't want to put it in the graveyard. Okay, what else do we have? We'll Strategic Betrayal. Counters on Demon Wall. Everybody? My first inclination was just to attack with the Demon Wall there. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, they go to 1? Not cool. Actually, you know what? It's fine. It can come back. It doesn't matter. Oh, I dealt them 1 damage for the Doomscar. Okay, let's end the turn. Discard 7 cards. Tap land, a Bristlyville, a Fenrir, a tap land, a Scavenging Ooze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can our opponent get out of this? Creature of the Schism. Activate Ghost Vacuum. There it is. What do they even get? 1 Demon Wall. Okay, so we can nuke the Bloodletter in their graveyard and draw a card. Yeah, we've got it. They just die. Oh, they don't. Good for them. Cut down the Demon Wall. That is it. What a slog. Our friend Curtis over here, looking good these days. I see what you're doing and I like it. That last matchup was exactly the kind of game that I like to play, like a grindy mid-range matchup where both decks are like doing their thing. We get to see everybody having a good time. This is fine. We need to draw a 3rd land, but I have lots of good interaction and the card that makes the deck go brrr. So, I mean, really, 2 mana to effectively draw an extra card every turn, and sometimes on your opponent's turn, should not be underestimated. Green-black has a lot of really fun tools. Kurt's over here trying to figure out, do you want to keep the hand? Are you having internet connectivity issues? Maybe you're playing the game on your mobile device, a phone or a tablet, if you will. Your watch, like this. You may have noticed that I'm not wearing a watch. If you've lasted this long past the first game, thank you. It seems that a lot of people check out once they've seen the deck list and once they've seen me play one game with it. Maybe not even the whole game. It's not really fun to watch our opponent time out, though, is it? It's not really my favorite kind of content. So maybe we could talk a little bit about what the meta is like post-ban. What do you think? What do you think of this new meta? Is it very much the same? I gotta be honest, I haven't actually had a lot of time to play this week. I built this deck when I built the last week's deck, and I haven't had an enormous amount of time to play with it. We're gonna keep our 7 and watch old Kurt time out over here. Kurt's here! Kurt was just taking us for a ride. We're gonna play a forest and try to give him the old rope-a-dope. So Kurt is on that red-green life, which again could mean a lot of things right now. So let's get the siege down on Sultai and see what Kurt's up to, because Kurt might be playing Jund Reanimator. Look at that. Look at that. Are you gonna be really sad when I play Scavenging Ooze and get rid of your Galta and draw a card? Oh, you don't love that. You gotta get rid of that Scavenging Ooze, friend. Listen, if you can get rid of that Scavenging Ooze, you're gonna be good, right? Another Seize the Spoils is another Galta? See, all they need to do is get rid of the Scavenging Ooze and they're in a good spot. We will play a forest, activate Scavenging Ooze, and get rid of that Galta. I think from here, I'm actually gonna play Agatha's Soul Cauldron and give myself double protection. This is exactly why I think that I've just seen the meta shift in this direction recently, where there's just a lot of graveyard decks. They now have 7 mana, so they can actually just play some of the really powerful cards in their hand, like Vaultborn Tyrant. Very good for our opponent. It would be very hard to imagine that we had an answer to that. We'll get in for 4. And we will say go. Our opponents, again, they still ramped a little bit, so they're feeling like they're still in this game, and they may be, because they just need to get to, how much is Galta? 8? Yeah. They can still just get to Galta and dump their whole hand. So I'm still I still haven't won. I still need to actually get their life total to 0. Old Kurt is taking his sweet time. Is this salty now? It really does feel like perhaps our friend is only paying half attention. Listen, I always make the assumption when somebody's roping us out like this that they're at work and they're not supposed to be playing Magic Arena on their phone, and they're, trying to pretend like, oh, well, oh yeah, I'm not playing a game. Yeah, you are. You are. Six lands for Kurt. Seize the Spoils again. They're not tossing things in the graveyard until they can reanimate them. So you may be asking yourself, why wouldn't I remove some of these things in the graveyard with Agatha's Soul Cauldron? And I think that the answer is that it's just not necessary. It feels like taking game actions that aren't really accomplishing anything. So I need to leave some amount of mana actually up. So I think that the move here, first and foremost, is we just get in with the ooze. We're going to play Warden of the Grove from here, which leaves both Go for the Throats up. Counter on Warden, draws us a card, Strategic Betrayal. You can see all the graveyard hate we have in this deck, right? This is very, very good for us against a deck like this. Invasion of Urgamon discards a card. There's another Galta for our opponent. And on their end step, I'm going to use Agate the Soul Cauldron, put another counter on Warden, draw another card. We will play our land for turn. We're going to play Jenova. We're going to put 2 counters on Jenova. It's going to draw us a card. We're going to move to combat, put those counters back on Warden, and swing for 11. Perfect. That is it. Skinnerific. I don't know what you... Do you have a lot of tattoos? Is that what it is? I mean, I can see that. That can be respectable. Lots of interaction, and a demon wall doesn't really make for a fantastic hand, but you can't really flinch at this much interaction. Blue-white means it's almost certainly control, and if that is the case, we're in trouble. Control is far and away our worst matchup. Play Fire Bricks means it's the artifact deck, which is not quite so bad for us. This is a good draw. Hollowmurk Siege means we're going to be drawing cards. That, my friends, is what we are looking for. There's the first synthesizer. So I just realized today that this card is going to rotate. So all of those Azorius Artifacts decks that we've been playing for a super long time are going to rotate, and we're going to feel really bad about it. I do think that we get our land down and that we go ahead and tear that asunder. It's just really important to put them off their game plan. Still very likely they play a 4th land and play the 4-mana spell. Here's United Battlefront, getting 2 artifacts off their top 6 or 7. Top 7. Synthesizer and a Soul Guide Lantern. Not good for us. We don't have another Synthesizer response currently. We're in trouble. They put both of the cards on top. We're in trouble. Bristly Bill. Blooming Marsh puts a counter on Bill, draws us a card. It's really a question of, like, can we outpace them? And I don't know if the answer's yes. I think the answer might not be yes. I think the answer might be no. Okay, there's Repurposing Bay. Makes a giant token. We're in trouble, friends. Yeah, Clayfire Bricks gets a Perilous Snare to get rid of Bill. Makes them another token. I'm going to play this out, but we have already lost. Yeah, we will play a Warden of the Grove. Pass the turn. We're going to give them the early good game. I'm sure they have another Perilous Snare. Yep. Saw Blades into Repurposing Bay, gets another Perilous Snare. I'm interested to see if they can get lethal. They probably can. Another Repurposing Bay. I don't know why you don't get the Perilous Snare there. Okay, sacrifices that to get a 2-drop removal. Prism draws you a card. Actually, I'm gonna not block. Okay, I'm actually not dead. I full well expected to be. I'm actually just going to make spirits. And we'll draw a card from putting another counter on Warden. I really expected them to kill us last turn. They probably can now. Another synthesizer. Yep. And you need a couple removal spells. There it is. Took him long enough. Good game. I do love to see letters that I don't know how to say. So our Ashiok friend over here is ambitious and playing first. We can keep this. Early game interaction. Things that make counters. Duress for our opponent. Every time. Every time. They take the go for the throat. We will play our tap land and leave Jenova on top. Turn 2 is Dreams of Steel and Oil, Exile and Bristly Bill. And Duressing us. And the Doomscar Warrior. Nice. 3 1-drop discard spells. We'll play a land and say go. Unholy Annex, just perfect for our opponent. Excellent. We will tear that asunder. I mean, they're still on the play, and technically a little ahead at this point. Demon Wall. And Duress. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Okay. We'll play a Forest and play Jenova. We don't have anything to put counters on. It's gonna draw a removal spell probably, but that's the game we're playing. Yep. There you go. We will play a land and play Warden of the Grove. Counter on Warden. Land for our opponent. More removal. Yep. Fenrir's a decent draw. We'll get a Forest. Say go. Sheoldred's very good for our opponent. We'll draw our card. You got it. We will play another Fenrir. Get another Forest. And pass the turn. Oh, this, like, attrition match is hard to watch, I know. Opponent plays a land. Preacher of the Schism for them. No attacks. I'm gonna draw. That's gonna do me damage. First Fenrir's gonna die and draw me another card. Do me some more damage. No attacks. We'll play our tap land and say go. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're not dead. We're just not in a good spot either. I don't know why they don't activate, yeah, they gain life there. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't activate Demon Wall. I will definitely trade with the Preacher. Yep. Opponent takes our cut down. What do we draw here? That it's not a land. Land's not going to do it. Okay, we're going to get in with Restless Cottage. Doesn't matter what we take. Alright. Oh, are we just dead? We're at 10. That gets to 5. We're effectively at 11. They're gonna do 5, 9. Yeah, we're dead. We'll sacrifice our food and play it out, but we die on our upkeep. Not so good this time. Oh my god. You're ruining my drama. I got distracted by a noise on my computer and completely missed the what our opponent is doing. Okay, Hollowmurk is on 2, Fenrir on 3 is one of my favorite starts, so we will go with that. Start with a Surveil. We will definitely take a Blooming Marsh. That smooths out our draw very well. Okay, I'm exiling a card. Is it actually one of the Hollowmurk sieges? I think it is. I think because it's hard pacing-wise to get down more than one of these. Okay, Blooming Marsh on 2 gets us Hollowmurk Siege on Sultai. Bandit's Talent makes us pitch the Scavenging Ooze, which makes me very sad, but I still think it's right. Because Fenrir's better on this next turn. We will play a Swamp and play Fenrir, which both draws us a card and digs out a land. Excellent. Excellent. Thoughtstalker lets us pick the card, right? Believe it or not, I'm gonna toss the land. Okay, Summon Fenrir draws me a card. Jenova actually gets the Fenrir out of range. So the question here... It's definitely Jenova. This is what the deck is built to do. So Jenova gets the counter from Fenrir, puts 2 counters on Fenrir, and gets in for 5. So now Fenrir is 100. Ooh, okay. This is actually really excellent because our opponent's like, oh, they've got us, but I've got an instant speed removal spell to get rid of Shieldred. That is it. Crystalline Fluorine. Our opponent is crafty and has a Terra Avatar and has already mulliganed to 6. I can keep this. Strategic Betrayal deals with whatever our opponent's doing early on, provided they're not a control deck, and then I have stuff to do afterwards. I think this is fine. Hopefully it's not another mono blacklist. We've already played against them 3 times in this video, and I would like to see some other decks if possible. Opponent starts with 6. That's a forest for our opponent. We'll start with a Blooming Marsh. This is not great because this is the put as many creatures on board as possible deck, so... Phineas gives a counter to the Might Caller. We will play a forest and strategically betray our opponent. Which of those 2 creatures do you like less? +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control that's a token or rabbit. Okay. 2 more damage for us. Mentor gets... So, I actually think... okay. This is a little tricky. I think I'm going to play Fenrir here. Because I know that Strategic Betrayal gets worse the more creatures that they get on board, but having Fenrir out at this point means I can do 2 things next turn. Valley Might Caller for our opponent. Mentor goes to 4/4. Quest Caller. Yep. Okay. We 100% block. Okay, so we will play our land for turn. Are we just dead? Maybe. Maybe. Probably. Run over by rabbits. Not my favorite way to die. And Strategic Betrayal again. Not targeted removal makes this way worse. Yep. Yeah. I don't want to just say good game, but... Oh, do they have a pipe spell? Oh, it's another Valley Quest caller? Yeah, you got it, friend. You got it. Run over by rabbits. No blocks. You got it. Old Lem. Craftiest witch in the Boca territory. We are on the draw. Got a Hollowmurk siege and a strategic betrayal. Scavenging ooze. Lots of stuff to deal with graveyards. I can keep it. Let's see how aggressive our opponent wants to be. Not particularly with the tap land to start. I love that you put something in your graveyard. We'll put something in our graveyard. You're like, oh my gosh, why did you put Scavenging Ooze in your graveyard? That's a terrible idea. Helping Hand gets that back, and then you do nothing. We'll play a land and play Hollowmurk Siege on Sultai. What's holding priority here? What's holding priority? Very curious. Third land for our opponent gets them Lunar Convocation. Cool. They have a cut down. That's what's holding priority. So I'm gonna get rid of the Channeler now and see if they want to play their cut down on it. Okay. Smarter than that. We will surveil. We will leave a Go for the Throat on top. We've got a creature in our graveyard, so we can activate Scavenging Ooze. Second Lunar Convocation, tap out. Okay, so I can actually get an activation out of Scavenging Ooze here, even if they try to remove it, so we're going to play Scavenging Ooze. And then we will pass the turn. Gonna hit our own Scavenging Ooze. Draw a card, get it out of cut down range. Tap land for our opponent. They are definitely on the life gain deck with those convocations. Just hurting himself to draw cards. Life Creed duo for our opponent. Interesting. Bristly Bill. We will put a land on Bill to get it out of range. Draw our card for turn. We will attack with the Ooze. Opponent's not going to block. Okay, at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life, each opponent loses a life. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained and lost life, create a bat. Alright, we're going to put a stop on their second main and see how their turn goes. Because I have Tear Asunder and Go for the Throat up at this point. I'm okay if they gain a little life and I end up losing some life. Sheltered by Ghosts, we're going to go for that Throat. You have a protection spell? Get out of town. Okay. That's wild. I can't believe that just happened. They missed a trigger there. Okay, so let's... It's Ward 2. Let's tear asunder the Sheltered by Ghosts. and get Bristly Bill back. We will attack for 3. They tap out, I can kill the Life Creed duo. Exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Get rid of that. And we will take that from your graveyard and draw a card. What is our opponent doing? No, we're in a decent spot now. Okay, Bat. You got it. What do you take? You took Doomscar. Okay. It's funny that, like, people really aren't playing with this card. This is not something that I've seen a lot of other people playing with, so... Okay. Okay. I don't really want them to know what I have in my hand, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Jenova. I'm gonna play the land that they know about and put a counter on Jenova. So draw a card. Then I'm gonna put counters on Bill. And we're gonna swing it. Okay. So they don't lose a lot there. Yeah, let's go to their turn, because I would have played a second Hollowmurk Siege, but I can nuke their creature on their end, on their turn, so I can draw an extra card. So it's kind of the same as casting another Hollowmurk Siege. I know the incremental value is better over time, but this is very tense because they actually, like, their engine is set up as well. They have Lunar Convocation at this point. Darksaw Augur. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and then lose life equal to its mana value, and they're going to Offspring it. And then they really hurt themselves way too much. They're going to make bats. That's what's going to happen. They're going to hurt themselves a little bit here. No, that's it. Friends and opponents, how did we do today? So 4-3 on camera. I really thought I was going to end up with a losing record today. I think these games that you saw are actually a really good representation of what this deck can do, because sometimes it really feels like we're dunking on our opponents, and sometimes it really feels like we just get run over by something that's a little bit more aggressive. To that end, I imagine that I could probably scale down the deck a little bit further, make it a little bit more low to the ground. I really put Demon Wall in the deck, not because I think it's necessarily amazing, but because it's actually there to stop the aggro matchups. But some of the games, like the Rabbit game, we didn't really have threats on the board that were capable of dealing with our opponents. Instead, we tried to strategically betray our way out of the game, which that matchup it wasn't working for. So unfortunately, some of the meta choices make the deck a little bit more or a little bit less versatile and a little bit less flexible in dealing what you're playing against. So I still think there's some streamlining to do with the deck, but I actually think that the deck has legs as a Golgari mid-range deck. So if that's your kind of gameplay style, and it actually is mine, this is what I've been playing to rank up on the ladder, because I think it surprises people a little bit, and it deals with all those pesky graveyard decks. Like, I've seen a lot of decks trying to do the Reanimator thing, and it's really effective. If you can't deal with it, you're going to see a Galta or a Valgaboth on the other side of the table on turn 4, and if you can't deal with that, your game's over. This deck can deal with it, so that gives us something of a matchup against those decks. So overall, I really think Jenova is a solid card. Obviously, it'll be in standard for a couple of years, and any kind of counters build that's going to be in this color, we can definitely consider this card. I can't wait to see if we see some other cards that give counters that are going to do a similar thing. And there's lots of other options already available. Good news is that the core of this deck does not rotate. So I see the core of this deck as Hollowmurk Siege, Summon Fenrir, and Jenova, and those are all very new cards, the last 2 sets as a matter of fact. So the rest of the stuff can kind of be filled in around the edges, but this deck does not lose a whole lot with rotation. It does lose Doomscar Warrior, so but I think that we could probably find something else. I've already seen at least 1 card printed from Edge of Eternities that might be able to take this spot. So all in all, very fun deck to play. I do think it's worth taking a look at if you've got some of these cards and you don't have to burn a whole lot of wild cards to build the deck. So before we wrap up, I just want to say again, thanks as always for watching. I very much appreciate your time and attention. Please remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends all about Head Games so we can expand the channel and start making more videos. Thanks again as always for watching. Take care of your head.